I think we should.
To humility.
Welcome back. I figured we'd start recording because we were just having a talk. But thanks for being back with us. This is a show about social and behavioral snafus. And we kind of know more. And luckily, we have 11 back in the studio this week.
Full crew today.
Yeah, full crew.
Heroes of
humility, 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 humility. This is not a charade. This is real. These words you are about to hear are coming from real humans on a mission to save the human race from itself. Buckle up while these delusional heroes of humility, aka HoHs, attempt to right the wrongs in everyday human behavior. We had to go to the car show without him, and it probably wasn't quite as much fun, but we have some pictures and stuff. We might put one more out. How are you doing, 11? Good to have you back.
Good. Had a family emergency.
We didn't get into the weeds. Hope everything's going good with your family and everything worked out.
We just pretended like you were here, but you just didn't want to talk last week.
Yeah. Asked me questions.
Yeah, we're
crickets.
Like, damn,
you need a cricket
he's pretty
button.
quiet this week.
You need a cricket button on there, dude.
No, we have to mention that when we saw him last, he only had a little bit of a tattoo.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's
now he's got more ink.
And how many hours were you in the chair, man?
About 7.5.
7.5.
I was good. I was good for about 6. Whew, after that,
holy
man.
crap!
It's getting a little dizzy.
It's quality work, though, man. It looks nice. The guy's talented that does it.
He's unreal.
So you're saying at one time, 7 hours?
Yeah, one day.
Holy, so that's all day getting tattooed.
Yeah, it was last Sunday.
Damn.
I wonder what the record is. There's got to be a record somewhere, like a documented record of somebody, like how
there's
long.
people that they put them under now, and they'll have like 4 tattoo artists going at it at the same time, doing like their whole body.
Is there a recommended range a limit to how long you should get under the needle?
Well, they say like 4 hours or 6 hours or something, because it's the adrenaline that dumps in your body because you're getting stabbed over and over again.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it's like eventually you kind of run out of that, and you produce more white blood cell, and it kind of leaves this hangover effect on you. You get dizzy, you get like blood rushing to your head, like, because I didn't feel it when I was in the chair. I was just like, man, this is really fucking hurting now. And after we were done, I was walking out, and he was like, if you get dizzy, pull over. I was like, what are you talking about? And I got in the car, started driving, and I was like, oh shit, I'm getting dizzy, dude.
Well, it hurts when you get your scrotum tattooed. I mean, I've heard that. So.
Let's see it, dude. Let's see the old bat wing.
What's the medical term for that?
Lucky for 11, it's all henna. It's a henna tattoo, so it's not too bad.
You had that done, didn't you, Beige? I think they call it a vasectomy, but
it took them 11 hours just to do the sack. So
damn, they had to cut through all the bush. They had a forest to get through, man. They break out the chainsaw.
Yeah, had to get a landscaping crew out there.
That was the most manscaped you've ever been. Dang.
It was a full crew.
And Pierce would like to know.
They're on the 0 turns and everything.
Pierce would like to know if you got the sack tattooed, Heroes of Humility.
That's a true hoe.
Oh.
Well, you should have just had hoe put on your scrot.
He's got an H on each butt cheek.
Yeah.
With
the O in the middle, right? Yeah.
That's a true fan.
Where does the O go in this? It's self-explanatory, ma'am.
You have to bend over to see it.
It's a little O. It's just
Wow. Well, I
kind of got off the rails there a little bit.
Yeah.
This is a nice intro into what you're going to be listening to for another 45 minutes, maybe. We keep our shows under an hour. I was doing some medical screening and stuff for work. I won't get into all that. We don't discuss work too much here, but every so often you have to go through all being poked and prodded for our jobs. And so they did that to me, and I wasn't real happy with one of the results, and it started making me think about my mortality.
Did you have to cough during this visit?
I did. I went for, so I had, it was a 2-parter.
Was it the poked?
It was a
2-parter or 2 fingers?
I said no to the poke. I said, I get that done on my own watch, sir. We don't need you to do it. You got to put your eyes in this machine, and they want to look at all the different ways that you can look at the same thing. And my depth perception was just slightly not a 10 out of 10 like it used to be. And dude, it was an emotional roller coaster for me going through this. Damn, I'm not as in pristine condition like I used to be. Yeah. And they said it's just getting older, you know.
All those chia seeds and whole oats for nothing right there, man.
Well,
come on, you know.
I'm glad you bring that up, because I will say that when my numbers
my depth perception is great, and I'm cheeseburgers and steaks all day long.
There's another phase of this test that involves looking at your triglycerides, cholesterol, and all that, HDL, LDLs, and my white blood count. And we were talking about, did you say testosterone might have something to do with white blood count? Or you were saying after you got your
red
tattoos.
blood cells.
Red blood cells.
Red blood. Well, it used to be low because I was eating way too many vegetables. And the doc said, are you getting enough meat in your diet?
Sounds like a pickup line.
I saw Beige already going there with some, but so I started
some more meat in your diet.
Zip.
I started eating less vegetables and doing better with my proteins, and my white blood count number went way up. It was low for a long time, but I was eating super healthy, but I was also getting way too many oxalates. So let's not get into that too much, but this one is kind of about and not just Pierce, but how isn't it possible that we might be one of the first humans that lives past 120 years? I heard that person might already be born, and I was thinking it could be, maybe, could I be the one, you know? And I know it's ridiculous. I'm looking around the room, and I've seen these looks from everybody before because I'm delusional. I know this about myself, but I thought I could beat this. I think I might beat it.
Pierce is going to walk out and be like, man, he got hit by the bus. If he didn't get hit by that bus, he would have made 120 easy.
I would just rather it be a bus than a cholesterol.
Let's get some Vegas odds on this, but we'll all be dead. So,
like a Deadpool?
Yes.
Nice. Well, you know what? That's probably what's going to happen to me. But that's how I want to go, dude. I don't want it to be sitting there shriveling up with cholesterol or triglyceride issues.
Dude, I've heard that they do a calculation now where, like, in general, the human race is, for every year they age, they're now getting back 4 months based on medical advancements and everything else. So like you're really only aging 8 months a year. Like chronologically you're aging a year, but you're getting back 4 months because of all the advancements.
How much that 4 months is taken away by drinking like a monster?
I don't know. I mean, I think eventually they'll be able to like just...
A week?
They'll be able to like clone a liver for you, and you can just keep it in the freezer. And then like, man, you know, I'm done with this one.
Liver store.
Having a second everything?
Yeah, just like spare parts in the freezer that you just, oh man, this liver's shot.
No, the beer's not in that one, dude. That's my spare parts freezer. It's the next one over.
Yeah. Popsicles are over there. That's the organs.
I took a class once, and it was for work because of a collateral duty I had, and they wanted me to help other people follow certain physical procedures. And so they showed you what happens when you eat certain things and how it's actually processed in your body. And they used, just to cut down to the cliff notes on this explanation, they used Crisco to demonstrate this. And after you have family members that have gone through unhealthy predicaments, or you go through a class like this, I've been through both scenarios, you start to have a unique appreciation for each moment that you eat. And it might not be good because, yeah, you should be able to enjoy a monster every once in a while. But if it turns to a monster...
It's a ghost.
Every day, it's all the same upside down. But, you know, it's like you start thinking about it and you don't want to be miserable. You shouldn't be...
So what did that pound of bacon do to me yesterday?
Dude, bacon's actually good for you, buddy.
Not too bad. It's just, you know, the accumulation. And as you get older, these things catch up to you faster. You can't go and do some of those things and just be totally with reckless abandon anymore. I get hassled a lot for people that, you know, you don't want to throw it in people's face, and I've unfortunately done that, and maybe by accident with most of the guys in this room, but
you're subhuman.
It's just hard when you're trying to
shame you as you're stuffing your face full of Taco Bell.
Yeah, and I forgot to give you guys your beef jerky tonight. We'll get that afterwards, but
that'll be noted.
Yeah, I think about every thing.
If you were really healthy, it'd be turkey, but yeah, I'll take beef.
Yeah. Well, this beef jerky, these are beef sticks that are you can get them at Costco. They have no sugar. Right?
No sugar.
No extra additives.
Grass-fed.
Grass-fed, supposedly. Who actually makes sure and certifies that beef stick is fed grass?
And I mean,
That's
is it just... Can you just
actual beef sticks walking around?
And can you just feed this cow grass one time and be like, yeah, grass-fed?
I snuck some grass in there.
Make sure you let those beef sticks out there in the grass. They gotta eat.
You gotta want it.
They're right next to the cheese. The cheese sticks are in the other.
The cheese sticks.
The cheese sticks are separated by a fence. I want to just see if I can do it. I don't know. And Beige, you and I have talked about this before, and you think I'm trying to go with the Ponce de Leon delusion, but I think I might get close, dude.
You're going to be like Tom Hanks in The Green Mile. All your friends are going to die, and you're going to be this old man that
I could be okay with that. Yeah, I'll be all right.
You'll be all right? Okay.
No, you know what? I would miss you guys. In fact, like I said, I'm thinking maybe it'd just be a sudden thing. I guarantee you, at each one of your funerals, and I just made eye contact with everybody.
He's already assuming he's going to outlive us all.
I'm going to be
so
crying.
when I'm attending
See,
each
I'm stubborn, and now I'm going to have to beat you, dude.
Right, yeah.
And
now
I
it's
don't
like,
lose.
now
No, it's
the
okay.
gauntlet has been laid down now. Now it's a challenge.
What do you get if you win, aside from bragging rights?
You get to be the last one standing.
Yeah, you're at the funeral, and you're like,
I told you.
bam!
I also
Winner.
I just
You
want
get to say "suck it" at everybody.
As everybody's mourning, you're...
I just walk up to your casket and be like, "Suck it, bitch."
I'm sorry,
think I
baby
could do
Beige, but suck it. Your daddy suck it.
Yeah, as
I
your
want-
kids and wife are crying, you're just so, suck it, bitch.
You're like, "Sorry, I had to do that."
Yeah, all right. No, yeah.
We
I'm
made
just
an
recording
agreement.
for the show.
I mean,
Security.
I will say I kind of have a unique perspective on this just because, I've known Pierce for quite a while. I haven't known 11 quite as long, and I've known Red for quite a bit too. But you guys know I used to eat like a garbage disposal, like have no
No comment,
yeah, and
but
Pierce is
yeah.
just nodding in agreement here. But
You look good, dude.
basically, I mean,
in
I
good
would
shape
just
now.
eat for taste. Like whatever I liked, I ate, and I didn't really care. Oh, this has 500 calories, 2,000 calories in it for lunch. Like I didn't care, because I just ate, and I always thought, oh, you're working out, that's good enough. You're working
Yes.
out, that's fine. But
that was me.
yeah. But lately, I've totally done a 180 on the way I eat, and I don't want to get too preachy about it, but I am a total believer and a convert in the low carb diet. I think it's just science. It will work I honestly think, and this is just anecdotal, but I think it would probably work for pretty much anybody that did it. Because I just think you cut out those carbs and sugars like that, you're going to lose weight. It's just science, in my opinion. I've lost a lot of weight since I've been on it. In addition to that, I just feel a lot better. I mean, my joints were aching before. I was feeling like my age and everything. And now it's like my joints don't hurt.
Yep. No,
it's
I was the same way.
Yeah.
I was really bad. And I kind of go through waves of
Yeah.
eating really bad and then eating really good.
See,
I'm kind of on an upswing right now, and I give credit to a certain someone that has been trying to get me to eat healthier.
See, that's what I'm afraid of, though, because I've done this new diet, and I'm afraid it's almost like an alcoholic, where as soon as you get off the bandwagon, it's just all hell breaks loose, and you're like, you just go crazy. Like, if you have one drink and you're an alcoholic, it's like, you're done. Like, I'm afraid I'm going to go and eat a donut, and then it's just going to be like, yep, I'm totally off my diet. I can't. So I'm just so scared of that I don't even have like quote unquote cheat days or anything right now, because I don't want to even risk relapsing into this crap diet that I was on before. Because you do acquire a taste for these things. Dude, the other day I went to a restaurant, which will remain unnamed, but they do have bottomless sides. And the bottomless side I used to get would always be French fries. Well, now I get broccoli. And I used to hate broccoli, but I downed like 5 bowls of that.
I love broccoli, dude.
Yeah, but I downed like 5 bowls of broccoli, and I'm like, this is actually pretty damn good. Like, I can eat this. Before, when I was eating all that other stuff, I'd be like, I'd have to choke it down. Now it actually tastes good.
So can you imagine the chef in the back? This guy wants another bowl of broccoli.
This guy who got his hamburger on a damn lettuce wrap wants another bowl.
We have to farm.
This guy can't be real.
Yeah, who is
go out
this
there.
guy?
Nobody orders that much broccoli.
Yeah,
Gonna meet this nightmare.
yeah.
A long time ago, we had to do some training together, Beige and I, and we were on a side of town where they didn't really have a lot of restaurants that I would probably choose. And so he wanted to go into one of these, and we did. And I ate their healthiest meal, which I think was a chicken McSandwich or whatever. It had Mick in it somewhere. And
Not saying the restaurant.
it was McBad for my body. Dude.
Yeah.
Later on, I think it was like
You had a
later
McBomb in
that day.
His insides make liquefied.
I almost McDied, dude. My body is not McReady for any of that stuff, dude.
Yeah. Your white blood cells saw that, and they're like foreign invasion. And they just attacked.
Yeah, it was DEFCON.
And they're not combat ready, dude. They've never seen combat.
Right.
I protect them. I keep them safe. And
They're completely version to combat. They had no clue what to do.
Yeah, and I actually was feeling bad that day, and I saw other people eating the same thing, and they were doing just fine.
Oh yeah.
And when you start eating
their
clean,
white blood cells are battle hardened.
well, when you start eating clean and you stop eating things that have all those preservatives and all those other issues in them, and then you do try one, you realize it. If you stop eating sodium, if you go off sodium for, I'm saying like probably at least a year, and then you put just a tiny bit in your oat bran, you can taste that salt. And it's weird like that. Your body just gets used to.
Oh, man.
I know one time I was working with this guy for a week. Just him and I, and we were working kind of close together for a week. And when we first started out, I think I went and bought like the family pack Twinkies, for that week that we were going to be out, because I was in the car quite often mobile and stuff. And you had to be mobile, and I'm loading up on the nasty snacks, you know what I mean, and the Twinkies. I tore that guy up by the end of that, because he was eating some of the stuff I was eating. And he was, if you go out with your drinking buddies and there's the one guy that can drink like a bottle of vodka and not be affected, that was me with food. It was like I would just whatever and I'm fine. This guy eats it and he's like dying over here.
This guy's a bottomless hole of Twinkies. He can just put them away.
I was in basic training. Before I even went, I started eating like perfect. I was exercising all the time. There's like no sugar, anything. So I probably went a good 10 months without like eating candy or anything like that. When I was in basic training, they really got on us. There was no sugar or anything. There was only water. And I remember one time we were in the field and we opened MREs. They're like, you guys can have anything in there. And I was like, oh, I got M&Ms in this. And what was it? Was like cake. Or some it was cocoa powder. Cocoa powder, but you can make it in like almost like a cake batter thing with a little bit of water. Oh. And so we did that and I ate it all. I have never been so sick in my life.
And the guys that were running it probably like knew what
they
were
doing.
They knew it. They're like,
I was on a live fire shooting range, like running, shooting, like jump down to the ground, and I was like, I was ready to just
like coming out both ends,
shit my pants. Oh. I got to the very end and I threw my gun and my vest at somebody else. I just ran off the side of the range and it was pandemonium.
Well,
and it was like all night. All night.
And
you run so sick from it, man.
And the guys who run that stuff or running your boot camp or your training camp, they're
diabolically laughing.
They're sadists. They love. They are sadists. Masochist is when you inflict you like
yourself.
Yeah. Sadist is when you enjoy seeing others writhing in pain.
It's interesting that we are the only creatures, I think, on the planet that, given the option, will actually hurt ourselves. We won't do... If you're given... Like, you see an animal in the wild, and you don't see them poisoning themselves with monsters and eating too many Twinkies. They're just...
I don't know.
I think if it was available, they would eat it. I think they eat whatever's around.
Shit before.
Yeah, that's true. My dogs do that.
Yeah, that's true. Dogs, maybe.
I mean, I think they just eat whatever the hell's around. If you put, cheese fries in front of a giraffe, he's going to destroy that shit.
But I mean, it's supposed to be an analogy to point out what a huge flaw we have, because we're supposed to be smarter than animals.
There's no Taco Bells in the Serengeti.
We should have the intellect and capacity to make better choices, and we just, all too often, you see people that struggle with that.
Because honestly... the carbs and the sugars, it's a drug. People get addicted to it. It legitimately, when you eat it, it releases pleasure chemicals in your brain, and people get serotonin and all that. It's honestly, I'm not exaggerating. I think it's very similar to any drug that somebody consumes.
Dude, when I had this last test, the gal that was giving it was very strict. I think she had been in the military her whole life, and she was like a drill sergeant giving me this test. But I talked to her. I said, let me have another shot at this. Let me do this. And she let me do it. And I thought I could will myself
You
wanted to have better depth perception.
You wanted a retake on your physical test?
Humble brag, I had 20/20, but it was this depth perception issue. And don't ask me how you have 20/20 in both eyes, but your depth perception be just off. And I thought of 11 for two reasons. One is because I thought I could talk to him and get some therapy, because I know he's been through some difficult things with his body. And I thought, okay, that was number one. But number two is we played so much damn Rocket League. I think my eyes up. And I was like, so I stopped playing Rocket League knowing I was going into this test, and I noticed my eyes were doing a little bit better. But I do think that looking at things up close and stuff like that does mess with your eyes.
Yeah, there's definitely like the screens that we look at now that does something, because if you go and get glasses, they offer you an option to get the screen blue light filter thing. Yeah. I mean, so obviously they're offering that because there's probably proven that it does something to your eyes if you're staring at screens all day, you know. And now everybody has big screen TVs. I mean, honestly, do you know anybody that has a TV that's like their main TV that's less than like 55 inches now? Back in the day when we were kids, remember you had the buddy that was like, dude, he's got a big screen TV.
It's 32 inches.
And it was like the TV that weighed like
5-inch monster hanging on
and the TV that was the big screen weighed like 1,000 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
It was built like a cabinet.
Dude, can you come over and help me? I got to move my TV. Now you can pick it up easy.
Right. But now it's like, dude, if you don't have a 55-inch TV, people are like, what is wrong with you, dude? Like, how do you watch this, you know?
Those TVs were also a huge, not just thing for watching entertainment, but they were also like a huge furniture piece in your house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ornate woodwork and everything.
Yes, the wood all the way around in my grandma. They're like, oh, my grandfather would be like, oh, change it to channel 7. I'd go up there and
yeah. Or you like turn the little tuner to get the reception to come in.
Oh, dude. Our TV had like a special key.
Yeah.
You had to like turn it in to get that UHF or whatever.
My buddy, when he finally got a flat screen, he took forever to do it. This was, I don't know, 10 years, maybe a little bit more than that. He had finally got rid of the tube TV, and he took it out to the range, and we put some tannerite in there, like 2 pounds of it, and blew that thing.
Oh, nice.
We weren't far enough away. We were dodging shrapnel.
Yeah.
It was bad. But that
you felt the heat from the blast.
But we didn't drive it out the 100 yards down the range. We like carried it, and I was like, this was a bad idea, man. This thing is so heavy.
It's interesting to see the things that were inside those big furniture pieces.
You know, the crazy part is when I was a young guy and I bought a house young, I was so happy and excited. I went to Costco and bought myself a nice 32-inch Panasonic TV. So proud of like one of my big purchases of getting a house. I ended up having to move out of the house and all this stuff, so I put the TV in storage. And so I only probably had a year of use out of it. So when I finally went back into storage, it was like now flat screens are the thing. Yeah. And I didn't want to get rid of it because I was like, I paid $500 for this TV. I want to get some use out of it. Well, you know what? I'm just going to donate it, right?
They won't even take
it. Nobody takes them anymore. They're like, we don't want that thing.
And most people, if you want to dispose of it responsibly, they charge you to take it. What the heck?
What a lose-lose.
Yeah, no, tell me about it.
But nowadays, it's like even the poorest...
blow it up at the range.
Even the poorest person out there, you have a studio apartment, you're damn sure they got a 60-inch TV in there. Oh, you know, they're even the like... Yeah. It doesn't even matter.
Get one for like $300.
Before it was your buddy that had the big screen TV. Their dad was like a lawyer, or their dad, you know, like they were the rich family.
Oh yeah, they used to when they first came out with plasmas. They were like $10K for a 50-inch.
If you go to a house now and they have under a 55-inch, I'd be concerned with consuming anything in the house because you'd be afraid, well, maybe they don't have the soap. Maybe they can't afford soap or the things that might be needed to keep the dishes clean. I'm sorry. Is this too judgy of me? I don't know. But,
I don't know, man. I just think it... But going back to that, I think that is a big thing, right? Because like in my quote-unquote man cave right now, I think I have like a 65-inch or 70-inch in there. And they recommend that you sit like, what? 20 feet away or 15 feet. I don't sit 15 feet away from that damn thing. You know, I'm like,
I don't know why my retinas are burnt out. I stand right in front of it.
The closer you are, the more it feels like it's like you're in front of a movie theater screen.
And sometimes if you're gaming long enough, your eyes start hurting, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've gotten that where I'm like, oh man, my eyes are watering.
That's what I was saying.
That's Rocket League right there, dude.
We go through that on Rocket League.
Yeah.
Like we'll be like, okay,
fight through it.
Been on because you'll hit a point where all of a sudden we just start sucking.
Yeah,
and we're like, okay, it's done.
My eyes are getting.
We even stop. We even
you get eye fatigue.
11 and I will even stop talking as much. We're just it just sucks the wind out of your sails, man. And then you see these people who may have just gotten on. Maybe they're a different time zone. But the other killer for humans is stress. And what I noticed, I went and played a couple nights without 11, and there's some toxic individuals online. And when you go to bed pissed and stressed, like I'm like pissed because I lost too many times in a row, it's not a good feeling.
Are you chatting with strangers?
No, I don't chat. Okay. I turn that stuff off. But I do like chatting with 11 when I'm on there, but it helps.
There's like a quick chat thing where words will come up. And
like if you suck, somebody will be like, you suck or something.
No, it's nothing like bad, but I'll just be like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like passive aggressive.
Yeah. Or
stuff.
They'll say, what's the one that
or you miss one, or you like miss the ball, and they'll be like, nice shot, and you're like, you.
Yeah.
It's
just sarcasm.
So
it's all just
stupid.
sarcasm.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst.
Sounds so dumb talking about it, but when you're actually playing it, you're like, you're fueled with rage, dude.
You can turn the chat off.
And the person on the other end's probably like a 12-year-old boy, right?
Yeah. No, I shut it off completely, so I can't.
Yeah.
But Pierce likes to turn it on because he'll like to rub it in their face.
I like to throw some stuff in there.
Yeah.
And I like to try
Pierce is the problem.
I'm part of the it takes two to be a problem, and I'm part of the problem.
But then he'll make noises like, oh.
Pierce just says
these guys, and then I get mad because I'm like, oh, they're talking shit.
Yeah. And then it gets him up.
And I'm like,
Pierce
dude, you can't tell me that stuff, dude.
Here's the worst, and I know 11 will agree. When you miss preventing the ball from going in your goal and somebody says, nice save. Yeah. That's the worst, dude. You're like...
Yeah. And then you're like, you know what, buddy?
Like you already feel bad enough.
Yeah.
And then you're just your face into it a little
Santa
bit more.
Claus isn't real.
Exactly.
And you just destroy their world.
Here's something else that would happen with some buddies. They don't play with this anymore right now, but they would get on and there would be a moment of silence. You could hear this at the end of a play you blew it. You'd just hear...
That's me.
And nobody says anything for a little bit, or somebody will be like, try to be nice and constructive and be like, well, next time if you just kind of go up the wall quicker and you don't try to block from the wall, you might. And now you're just seething because someone's giving you constructive criticism, and it's like, dude, do you realize I feel like shit right now? Okay.
Yeah. You realize I just had a physical and my depth perception is not 100%
anymore. Yeah, my depth perception is already going.
Kick a man while he's down.
Never mind my triglycerides are really good, but my depth perception, and it's very upsetting right now. Yeah.
Well, and that reminds me, I don't know if you guys had it, but I think you went to the school in the same area I did growing up, but remember they would come out and do the vision test at school?
Yeah.
And you had the book, and like for us, it was always like a fly or something. They'd open it up and like this
it
fly
looks like it's coming right at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, how about the hearing test, man? But that always is a head game.
Oh, let's describe this for listeners that have never been through this scenario.
Yeah, is that still something they do for kids in school now? I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'll set this up because I just went through it. You go inside of a big soundproof box with some glass. It has glass on 3 sides. And you sit in there with a device that looks like it was out of like a 1966 Mission Impossible TV show. And it's strapped to a wire, and you have to push the little button on it every time you hear a tone. Now, the tones will be in these headsets that look like they're very futuristic, but they're the same headsets that have been in place since 1960.
Yeah, they're from like a 1960 science fiction TV show, pretty much, yeah.
And the only reation they look futuristic is because you've never seen anything
and
like
they hum
this.
when you put them on.
They hurt like hell because they're made out of like some very hard
asbestos.
Material. And they're pushing on your ears.
The padding is pure asbestos.
You were healthy when we started. Now you're dying.
You hear any ringing? Yeah, my brain is radioactive.
It could be the piece of metal that's sticking out of it.
These were used in the Cold War to get admissions from the enemy.
We got this surplus from Chernobyl, actually. These are supplies from Chernobyl.
Price.
Torture.
Do you feel any tingling in your ears? Yeah, actually I do. Well, sir, we haven't turned them on yet.
So she tried to be, we had a good rapport. I hadn't really worked with her before, and she's like, well, you're going to, and I knew this, I've taken this a ton of times. She says, well, you're going to hear some tones on the left, and then they'll go to the right. And every time you hear a tone, push that little button on the thing. And I'm listening. And I'm listening harder than I've ever listened to anything.
Yeah,
even like my favorite 80s song, I'm like focused. I got my eyes closed.
And you're like, I should have heard something by now.
And sometimes I'm like, did she start it yet? Is she starting it?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, well, I don't hear anything yet. And then all of a sudden, I hear like a tear falling from Tinkerbell's eye, like 300 meters away. And I'm like, I think that was a sound.
Was it left? Was it right?
Or was it the room settling or what? So I start going.
Like clicking on it.
Yeah, I'm pushing that button.
I heard the molecules in the air shifting, I believe.
I just start pushing that button. And if somebody didn't know what was going on, they'd just think I was a whack job. Dude.
That's a good question. What if you just start hitting it and they're like, we haven't played anything. What is this? And then they're like, this guy's a psychopath. He's hearing things that aren't
Talk about an experiment.
Right? This guy's hallucinating. Because you probably sit there and you're like, I know they played something by now. I should have heard something because I've sat here for 30 seconds and there's not I know they played a tone by now, you know? Yeah.
I thought of another trick and I wouldn't do this because part of me that is the fanatical weirdo guy, like, you know, the guy in the Breakfast Club that wants to be the best and all that. I'm sitting there thinking, I don't want to get one of those like a freebie. I want to really hear that thing. I want to earn it. So when and I'm like, that's why I don't want to see when she turned it on even. I want to be able to just hear it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not healthy, dude. And I'll admit it. And eventually, if we do take the personality thing, this will all come out. But even in a personality test, I would assume. But yeah, I'm hitting that button. And when I get out, I just want to see one thing. I want to see her be impressed. Like if she's impressed with me, I'm like, that's all. And I just want to look at her face and then I want to just get some kind of feedback, you know?
You want her to be like, the rest of the physical is canceled because you excelled so much in your hearing that you're in perfect. I don't even need to do anything else here.
She's like, I need to actually hurt your ears a little bit because you hear too good.
we used to get those in the Army and guys wouldn't. Because it starts real low, then it goes real high, and then it'll go all the way back down low again. But it does that like on a rhythm. So if you can just like figure out the rhythm,
right? You just like count internally in your head,
and then I'll wait a second,
left, right, left,
and then guys, so they would be able to deploy and all that stuff, and wouldn't have any problems. They would just
but then they get out there and you're like, hey. Dickweed, I've been calling you.
It doesn't matter once you get out there.
Nobody can hear shit anyway.
Like, dude, I've been screaming at you for like 5 minutes. What the hell?
Hang on, I got my hearing in. Oh, wait, I got nothing in there. I just can't hear.
You can't prove my buddy got shot because I didn't hear the enemy. But yeah, it's just, dude, one of those things. And then I get crazy in my head about it. And there's one of those tests, even though they're the same. And she was trying to help me a little bit. She's like, well, 4 and 8 are the same. And I'm like, I didn't hear that. La, 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 la. And I'm looking at it. Oh, now 4 looks different than 8, though, to me. Now it's throwing me off, man. And I'm just like in my head about it. And I want to do perfect on everything. And I'm just at that age where for the first time, dude, I took a long, hard look at the proverbial man in the mirror. And I realized, damn, I'm not.
You took the L.
So now you're on an eye transplant list. You've signed yourself up for an eye transplant.
I already had PRK a long time ago with lasers, and it perfected even what God had already given me. But now, I don't know if there's a remedy for. I just heard that as you get older, you may have, and I think I could will myself to have better depth perception. So I've taken a little break from the gaming, and I'm just trying to be. I wear a patch, so part of my endeavor to live forever is. And I appreciate people giving me a courtesy like
swashbucklers.
Do you have a parrot? Is there a parrot that came with this patch?
No, I go outside in the mornings. There's a mountain in the distance.
Shiver me timbers.
Fucking peg leg.
I cover my left eye.
He hops on one foot.
Oh, hell.
He got this patch as a costume at Party City, right?
No, it's a real patch. It's a real patch. I ordered these off Amazon. They're comfy. I'll like put that thing on and I'll try different eyes and I'll do it for like 20 minutes with each eye. And I wonder what the neighbors, if they can see into my backyard through my foliage, if they see this guy eating a grapefruit with his shirt off and patches on his eyes, because I got to get my vitamin D. We won't get in the whole thing, but I do some weird stuff, dude. And I wonder.
He's probably got
You don't have to get into the whole thing. We had a whole show about it.
That's right.
Like the horse. The blinders you put on the horses, that's probably to calm them down,
I thought that was just to keep the flies out, dude.
Yeah. No, I think it's to calm the horse down. You put the blinders on.
Yeah. When I get into a nursing home,
that's like
someday,
Pierce. You just
I'm going to be the guy
down, buddy.
walking outside and the nursing assistants will be like, what is that guy doing? And I'm like, I'm still striving for perfection, man.
Just butt naked.
Butt naked.
Balls down to his knees.
Trying to get more vitamin D than anybody else in the nursing home.
Even at his funeral, he's going to be the most beautiful corpse you've ever seen.
Well, the thing is that unfortunately,
just butt naked, laying in the coffin.
Now you may ask yourself, how does this translate into a show that's supposed to be talking about social interactions? The reason it transfers into a show that discusses those types of issues is because it is a very social thing. It's between you and yourself, and that is a very social situation. Now, I don't mean to blow your minds, but this occurred to me this week.
Well, it could affect your self-esteem, right?
It could affect
between you and yourself. How's that social?
Well, because you have a relationship with yourself.
Oh,
you know, there's at least two people. There's at least two people, you and yourself. It's how you view yourself.
You yourself, Timmy. Jake up here, you know, How many other people you got living up there?
There's Pierce, Pierce number 1, Pierce number 2.
Captain Jack, Captain Jack,
Captain Jack. One-eyed Willie, step right up. It's your turn, bro.
You went Goonies.
Yeah, you gotta go Goonies, man. Yeah, there's just a lot of things, but and it makes you feel good. I don't want to get into the aesthetics too much because I'm not proud of this, but the other part of this is that it also translates into social because if you eat grapefruit, it's good for your skin.
Okay, but if you had gone to that test and they said, you know what, man, your depth perception 10 out of 10. Would you then afterwards walk around and be like, I'm better than this guy?
I kind of
My
depth perception, this guy's probably an 8 out of 10. Look at this piece of shit.
That's a good social observation, dude, and I do that, and I'm here to apologize to the listeners.
Oh,
people
the
that
poor
have never,
depth perception.
But a lot of these little things, dude, you guys in this room and anybody listening, you are my buddies because I've been super honest with you about stuff, and I joke about this, but I'm not really proud of it, dude. I realize that I have a weakness, and it is this desire to try to do the very best because deep down I'm thinking, get out of my way. You know, this guy over here without his good depth perception.
This mortal.
Now,
look at this mortal here.
But I like that it forces me to have a little more humility. You know, to think about, look, you're not this fictitious person that you think you're not as perfect as you think you are. And I know that.
So you're happy about it.
I am. I found a peace with it.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
you can identify now with like Superman and Batman. They all have, each one of them has their own vice.
Yeah, their own weakness.
That makes
Kryptonite.
makes their story more interesting
you can't
because
tell how far something is.
Yeah.
See?
Now, if a villain is slightly askew, you might not properly gauge the depth that they're at. So that's your...
That was pretty deep.
Oh, it was deep somewhere, dude.
That's what she said.
Now, I was driving the other day and I did this, and I'm sorry, drivers on the road, but I covered after I got this test, I closed one of my eyes. While I was
driving around,
put your patches. You're driving around with patches.
What the freak, mommy? This guy's driving.
I'm like,
a Trans
dude,
Am with
I can
eye
see
patches.
fine. I can see the depth of the cars. I can see where everything is. But that test, dude, it's so difficult. It's so they have these diamonds, and inside there's 4 circles.
Oh, I've seen that. I've had that. Yeah.
And by the time you get past number 5, they're all so similar you can barely tell which circle is slightly different than the other one. I mean, we're talking like maybe say the width of a hair. The thickness of a hair. It seems like the depth perception they've gotten so. Why do they need somebody that perfect to do this job? I think I've seen some of the people that have let themselves go in our line of work.
Like, this dude's
and I'm like,
good depth
I think I'll be okay. Okay, my depth perception, I can run pretty fast. I'll be able to outrun.
Close the gap.
I just have to run faster than the other guys that are out of shape. Now, I don't want anything bad to happen to my buddies, but that one guy in the office is kind of a dickhead. I just got to run faster than him, and everybody else will be good. Yeah, I'll carry Beige. I'll leave the other guy I don't like over there.
It's like a horror movie, right? If Freddy's running after you or the villain, you just got to outrun the other guy.
It's a really ugly side of me, and I'm afraid that's really come out in this episode.
Well, it's self-reflection, man.
I thought it was important to discuss. And
You're mortal.
I can't wait for you to hear what we have for you in store on the next show. This is the first. Oh, we have to do Scam City.
Well,
and then
but I will say that there is, like I was saying before, like with me, I'm in my mid-40s now. I feel better than I have for the past 20 years at this point. So if you treat your body right and if you do things that are healthy, you can, you're not as young as you used to be. And I don't know what that means as far as your mortality goes, but you definitely feel better than you have even maybe 10, 15 years ago. It's just how you treat yourself. But with the eyes, it's just inevitable. I don't think there's anything you really can do to stop that. I mean, pretty much everybody needs reading glasses when they get older. And I think people need reading glasses because of the depth perception issue that
well,
everybody...
And after you said something so supportive and therapeutic and helpful to your bro, I will say this, that you are a testament to the fact that a human can treat their body like a human garbage disposal for the first 30 some years of life and then completely do a 180, dude. And I'm looking at you right now and you're an Adonis. Yeah.
Wow.
You've really turned it. I mean, and I'm not saying you were hideous
semi-chub
before.
over there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you were hideous before, but dude, now.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
I can't even look at you.
Do it for me.
I'm just trying to keep up with Pierce here.
And
trying to keep up with Pierce.
I don't know.
Trying to not be the guy falling down in the woods that gets attacked by the serial
behind.
killer anymore, you know? So
does anybody else have anything to add to this topic before we get into our next segment?
No, it's been joyous and wonderful.
Joy. This is the section of the show that we do called Scam City. Now, if you didn't bring something that's a scam, that's okay. We just started this 11, and we missed you when we did the first time. I know you're going to have some fun with this because you think I'm always looking at scams too harshly, but there are just too many scams in the world. Insurance, okay? I don't think I discussed insurance in the last one. The insurance company keeps sending me the request to reinsure my Trans Am because they know I'm going to. I'm not getting rid of that thing forever. So they keep saying, like, 2 months in advance, hey, go ahead and send us that year payment in advance and we'll go ahead and get it taken care of for you. Well, guess what? If I send it 2 months in advance, they got 2 months worth of interest for $500 on my premium. And I'm like, why am I giving them that money so early? Because it's a scam, dude. And then they're going to take that money, bro, and they're going to just sit on it and they're going to be like, oh, thank you. You're all renewed. And when you're in 2 months, when your insurance comes due, you'll be good to go. And I'm like, this is what I do. All right. I set a little tickler on my phone, a little date, a little thing the kids call on my calendar.
A little tickler.
And like on midnight, you know, now I haven't gotten too crazy yet, but I'm saying I get pretty dang close to that date. And that's when they get the money.
you pull the trigger at 11:55.
That's right.
You're like,
Just keep them guessing.
I'm a little ashamed of the satisfaction that I got from doing that each year. I kind of feel like the Haggerty people with their classic car insurance. I got them. You know, I got them.
Yeah.
I figured them out.
there's somebody sitting there like, this guy, he's on to
Do
us.
they
got us
No,
again.
some
He
companies
got
will
us.
call you. Hey, is there anything we can do to help you decide? Because your payment is not as early as it normally has. You're like,
Sure.
it's coming, but I still got 30 days.
Have you fallen on tough times? Are you not able to pay your premium 2 months early this year?
Is there a medical condition we should be aware of?
Well,
Is your depth perception?
and I have one.
Are you driving with eye patches today?
Yeah, if they knew you were driving with eye patches, that premium's going up, buddy.
Yeah, he's not. Well, that'll be edited out.
I wouldn't do that in my Trans Am. I run the risk in my other car. But anyway.
And so I have something to contribute. My scam cities are not so much maybe monetary, but they're just like everybody wants something from you all the time now.
Yeah.
And growing up in the 80s, you're like, dude, I don't need to be constantly connected to everybody. That's the kind of way I look at life. So today I get this text message. If you always have to be careful when you go to retail websites or you go to buy stuff because they'll get your information and then start sending you text messages and emails and everything. Hey, check out this new release or something like that. You know,
I hate that.
Yeah. And if they send you a text message, like today, I got a text message and then I click on the text message. Oh, let me check out that new collection that they got in or whatever. Let me check that out. And then you're like, yeah, I don't see anything I really want. Then you get off that. And then what do you get? You get another text message that says, hey, saw you checked out the website. Anything I can help you with? No.
If I wanted help,
I would have bought something. Just stop. I don't need the constant,
Barrage.
the constant marketing here.
God
you
forbid
know?
you put something in your cart and you don't order it within seconds. You're going to get a lot of follow-ups, dude.
Well, sometimes I've done that before where it's like you put it in your cart and then these companies get so desperate, they'll be like, hey,
we
we'll
saw
give
you forgot to check out.
Or how about an extra 20% off
No,
to
dude, very
finish
well.
that?
Yeah, sunglasses,
So
bro. I've
some
done that
places
with
do that, you know? So I play the game
You remember
sometimes.
way back in the day when you used to be able to just buy something and that was the end of it. You could buy something and walk away and your relationship with that vendor was done.
Right.
Not now.
Yeah.
Where they're going to send you emails and invites. Guess what? You got to get the latest app.
Yeah.
Now you got to have an app. You got to respond to a survey and you're going to get a few requests.
And let me tell you, if you don't answer the first or 25 times, They'll definitely remind you on the 26th time that you forgot.
And here's some scam incentives for you to refer a friend.
You know? Oh, everybody's got a refer a friend thing, you know?
And guess what? When you tell your friend, now I've got a buddy.
Which is a reminder, hey, listeners, refer a friend to listen to Heroes of Humility.
Well, a good one, dude. Very well done. Yeah, and then tell another friend, and just let's do a pyramid of HoHs.
Yeah, why not?
When you tell a friend now, hey, I got this really good water filtration system in my house. This happened to me and a bro. And my buddy was like, I wonder what's in this for Pierce. What's going on over there with Pierce?
Oh, right, yeah.
I did this with Shano. I'm sorry, I'm going to say his name. I don't think he listens that much. But anyway, yeah, it was a good buddy of mine, and they were providing some kind of incentive, but I wasn't interested in that. I was just trying to help him because I thought it was the best system. And now it's like, it put a weird thing in our relationship.
They're like, geez, thanks, Pierce, for throwing me under the bus. And now I got this person reaching out to me all the time about some damn water system because you got an extra $20 off or something, you know?
It was supposed to be giving him a discount and me a discount. I didn't know about that. Then he found out, I think, and he was like, well, is it really the best? Was Pierce just saying this to give... Now I can't believe.
And now,
if
you vouch and it's not the best,
what if something happens? And so it was just it's just now it probably wouldn't happen with like somebody that you are right next to all the time and you see a lot, but somebody far away, they're like, the listeners should know we're still good buddies. But it's just, it's like the world is crazy, man. Everybody, there's so many. Everybody's wants something. Like you said, they're always pushing you for something. Right. So everybody thinks, well, there must be something else at work here, and it's hard to just take things at face value. You know, is this person really just? I don't know. I think it's kind of
And on this, have you ever had a buddy that like got a job as like a car salesman or like a commission job, and then they hit you up for stuff, and you're like, dude, no, like I don't need a new car. I don't need insurance. Damn. I'm good, man.
I've known people that have done that, but like my good friends would never.
Yeah. No, dude, I had one that I thought I could say the same thing just like you. I'm like, no, man, I have some good friends and I think they wouldn't do that. I had a friend do that to me. I hadn't seen from high school for a while, and they reached out. Oh, yeah, we should get together, you know, as a couple.
Yeah, and they always started off as like, hey,
and they
buddy.
try to sell you the whole time?
Yeah, and you're like.
Brutal, dude.
And you're, yeah, bro, because in your mind, you're thinking, at least in my mind, was like, oh, yeah, cool, let's catch up. Damn. We'll go have some dinner. Cool. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm on this new business venture. I'll tell you all about it. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, bro. I'll talk about my job too. Yeah. So you get there, and right away it was like me and my wife, and we were talking. I was like, hey man, give hugs and whatever. And here's the menus. Yeah, let's go ahead and order. Oh, we already ate.
What?
Oh, it's just
you already ate? How did you? Well, I thought we were coming for dinner. Are we just doing drinks? Or, I don't want to be rude. Like, should I'm not going to get a steak dinner and you're just going to sit me and watch and eat it. Oh, no, don't worry. It's on us. Don't worry. It's on us. And I'm like, right away, your red flags start going up. And it's like.
Now you feel obligated.
Then you got pitched a pyramid scheme. And, I guess in my mind, this is a good friend of mine. Maybe they're really thinking this is a great opportunity for me. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, so
you're a good bro.
What are you trying to, like, are you trying to sell me the product or the brand? Because to me, in my mind, if I can understand the brand, maybe I can get behind the product and really be involved and invested in this and move it forward, right? No, it was a pyramid scheme. It was selling the process of like, I get you and then you get several people. And it was a good friend that did it to me. So I was kind of like, oh, don't worry about it. We got the check. It's a business lunch. And wait, I thought we were just catching up, and now this turned into a business lunch.
Is this a guy that might listen to the podcast?
If so, you can kind of tell where the relationship probably went after that.
Well, I was just going to say, if you're out there, how dare you?
Yeah, because like,
you son of a gun.
If I was like a good friend of mine, I'd be like, I would have told you on a separate note, hey, bro, I'm working for this company. You're really missing out on X whatever product. You should really check it out. Here's the link. Do yourself a favor. It's going to be good for you.
I would just say, hey, I'm doing this. If you're interested, dude, I'll tell you more. If not, don't worry about it.
Yeah, no pressure, right?
No pressure.
That's the thing you do with your friends.
That's the thing you do with friends. Hey, I believe in it. Here's some information. If you're interested, I'm not going to hard sell you or anything, but here you go. Like, I don't care either way. If you,
because all of us get barraged, like you said, by sales pitches and whatever. The last thing you want to do is go out to bro and like get the new cable product that locked in for 2 years contract on satellite dish.
Right.
Wow.
Oddly specific.
Yeah. That wasn't it, though.
Your buddy invited you to a timeshare dinner, man, and
no, it's like that, but there was no free drinks and pool party afterwards.
Yeah.
No, that sucked.
As soon as they said it's on them, I would have ordered that steak dinner.
Yeah, lobster, a little surf and turf.
Going back, yeah, but I was more burned that, like, to me, that we're using the friendship as like a way to talk to somebody. And I was kind of like, I don't know. The other one I've gotten like recently too is from a friend of a friend. Like, oh, you know what? My new boyfriend's a financial advisor. You mind if I give you their phone number so they can put you on the call list, and that way you can talk to them? And
that's horrible.
Or what? Well, yeah, they'll call you and talk about stocks and stuff like that, and maybe you can do an investment. I don't even met this guy before, and I'm supposed to be giving him money?
When it's a friend, like, you don't want your friends to lose money off of something you referred them to.
Right? That's
like,
kind of a... Well,
and I wouldn't do that to a friend of mine. I wouldn't want to have any part in that.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's my thing is, like, how valuable is that friendship to you when you're going to put me in that position? Like, you got to think these things. Exactly. Like, I would think these things out.
If it goes south, you're not going to still be... You're gonna,
exactly.
If they're going to be mad at you and you're just going to, like, turn away.
You just cost this dude thousands of dollars, and then you're going to be like, hey, bro, what's up?
You just basically threw your friendship in a trash can just to try to sell, like, find...
Well, and I've had buddies before that, like, became personal trainers, or, like, there's people that get into jobs and they're like, oh, I get in this job, like personal training, for instance. I like to work out. I want to help people become healthy and do this. They're doing it for all these reasons. Then you get into personal training and it's all you're doing is selling. You're a salesman. 90% of your job is just trying to get clients, and you're hard pressing people. And my buddies were like, "Screw this, dude! I'm not doing this anymore. I just personal training and doing that's fine. But when I spend 90% of my time just trying to hustle and get clients, like, no,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hope we didn't bring anybody down with this section of Scam City, but it was
you almost said Sad City.
Sad, yeah.
Yeah, that was it for Scam. So I think we could do What Would You Do on the next episode, since we're going to record another one for the people to listen to, and close it out on this one. What do you guys think? Appreciate everybody making the trip. And once again, thanks to our listeners who bear with us and maybe have some kind of vested interest in the show at this point. If you don't, guys. But
Vas ye mateys.
One-Eyed Willie signing off. And this is
Beige.
Red.
11.
Thank you. You guys take care. Be cool. Be kind. Heroes of Humility will be back in 2 weeks. If you want, it would be courtesy. It would be the right thing to do. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram. We have a website, and follow us. Give us a rating if you want. Thanks for your support. Take care.